Why do we use E sharp? We all know that E sharp is the same as F. So why would anyone write an E sharp note when an F is so much easier to read? In fact, why would anyone write any of the en-harmonic spellings of natural notes, such as B sharp, which is C, or F flat, C flat, G double sharp? The reason is simple: context. Without context, a note is just pitch and rhythm, and there's no reason to choose writing C flat instead of B. But when in context, a note usually carries functional or intervallic information that should be reflected by its spelling. So let's say you write a C major triad. You can tell right away that this is a triad just by looking at the space between the notes. It clearly shows 2/3 on top of each other, and the resulting fifth between the outer notes. Now, to write a triad a half step above C triad, say a C sharp triad, we can add a sharp to every note in the triad. The chord structure is still reflected by its notation, 2 stacked thirds. Now the middle note is an E sharp, which is an F natural. So let's rewrite it using an F instead. Now it looks like there's a fourth and a second, which is not representing a triad, although it sounds like one. The E sharp is a third of a C sharp major chord, not the F. Okay, so you're probably wondering, why bother with C sharp? Just write the chord enharmonically as a D flat chord and you don't need the E sharp anymore. Now the F is the third. Problem solved. That will certainly solve the problem in this case because the context only involves the E sharp or F being the third of the triad. But what happens when the context implies more than just E sharp being the third? In this example, the C major turns into a C minor triad. If we want to write this a half step above, we can write it in C sharp, and as we've seen before, we could write the note is an E sharp. Or write it in D flat, and then we will have to show this note as an F flat. If we want to avoid any of these notes, we could write it as a D flat major going to a C sharp minor. But then the roots of these chords look as if they changed from C sharp to D flat for no reason. And the interesting transition of the same chord from major to minor is not reflected in the music anymore. So remember that every note must reflect its intervallic function in context. So the hard part is to determine the context in which a note is. So can you tell which of these two examples is written using the correct accidentals?